You start it.
It started. Welcome everyone to the land of death. Let me put up the character.
It is a warm day this Friday, June 17th, 2022. I wish I was not wearing pants. None of you can see me wearing pants. I'm wearing them, but I wish I wasn't.
I wish I was wearing pants.
Wait, what was that?
Huh? Did you say something?
Hestia.
I wish I was wearing pants.
I'm pretty sure Taggart is okay with the current situation.
I'm always okay with the current situation. But we're
Always.
in different rooms now so that Erica can actually participate.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Alright. The audience summary has been posted for any potential viewers, of which there are currently none, which is to be expected. Alright, let's see. Let me give a quick recap of what happened last time so far. And then we will get moving. Oh, I need to get my notes pulled up. So last time, two things began happening. One, the party began making plans for how to go and distract/gain information from Pietro, hopefully. And then two, make preparations for the other part of the party to go and at least try to stealthily find and free Maleth. What awaits them when they go after Maleth, they don't know, but Prince and Jasper both went alone and largely unprotected to confront Pietro, while the other four party members, Tiffany, Nomad, Gabriel, and Hestia, made preparations to go and find Maleth. Hestia was able to scout out and find a building that appeared to be more heavily guarded than other buildings. And the party gathered that information. I guess I'm not going to make any assumptions as to what you're going to do with it. But you did find one of the buildings that does appear to be more heavily guarded. Let's see. Anything that I'm missing?
No. I don't think so.
Alright, so then let's pick up with the rest of the party, not Jasper and Prince. Let's pick up with Tiffany, Gabriel, Hestia, and Nomad. So you have your map of the city. You've determined a rendezvous point with Jasper and Prince should things go south, in which case you will go south out of the city and towards a nearby city that perhaps has some resources that will be beneficial to you and or to Barrowain. But for now, as you go to find out where Maleth is, you were able to find one building that is nearby the capital, or nearby the palace, which is possibly where Maleth is being held. So,
And we've had a good night's sleep and have all of our spells back.
Since the last fight, yes. Since you entered the city, no.
Okay. Cool.
Wait, I'm rested?
Who asked that one? I didn't notice. Was that you, Prince?
I did, yes.
Okay. Rested since the encounter with the vampires previously, yes. Rested since you got to the city, no.
Is there like a button to just press and rest everything?
Let me do that really quick.
Because I still have all my Dispel Magics and Cure Moderate runes and everything, and Bardic performances.
Used.
Yeah. I mean, I can just click them off. Oh, there you go.
Then let me just do an overnight rest for everybody. I can't remember if there's a way to do it for just one person or for everybody at once, but for the sake of
There was a spell that I used after the battle, so I'm going to make sure I take care
go
of that.
go ahead and reuse it. Okay. All right. Any questions before we continue? No questions?
No.
All right. So, Gabriel, Tiffany, Nomad, and Hestia. Are you what is your plan as you are going to go and try and find and rescue Maleth? And then I will take over from there as needed.
Tiffany's there too, I think.
I said Tiffany, Nomad, Gabriel.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If I didn't, then I should have.
I see Nomad's got that silver whip out. Silver threaded whip.
Well, I think our plan was to try to sneak in and get Maleth. Did we ever send the owl out to see if we could identify what building she was in? If it was
you were able to find out. Well, you weren't able to find her, but you were able to find a building outside of the palace that appears to be abnormally guarded.
That sounds suspicious. So what do you guys think? Should we try the palace or should we try the weird guarded building? And also, Nomad, are you going to go along with us? Or are you going to, like, disguise yourself and just keep watch for us, or what?
Probably be best if I kept watch. I'm certainly not very stealthy.
Okay. So, we'll have you nearby, able to contact.
I'm guessing no one has, like, an invisibility. I'm not party. Never mind.
I would recommend that we send one person in first to try to at least see if Maleth is there in the first place. I don't see much of a reason for multiple people going in at once. I think one person could easily, get in, get out, maybe even blend in well enough to look around, and then if we need more people for getting Maleth out, then we can discuss that when the person that was scouting comes back, if that sounds like a plan to you guys.
Yeah, I have a couple issues. One is that if that one person runs into any trouble, they're alone, which I do agree that one person would be easier to sneak, but then we also have the fact I'm probably the best at getting in and out, and I have never seen your friend Maleth to know if she's the person I'd find or not.
Okay. Well, I can certainly give you a description of her that should be sufficient. And yes, if you're caught, there is an issue of, yes, you are alone, but I mean, I'm just trying to weigh all the options here. Having to move a bunch of people around all at once might be more cumbersome than just sending one person in.
Yeah, you're right on that.
And that person getting out doesn't have to worry about anything else, helping anyone else or worrying about anyone else in the building. They can just make a clean escape.
Well, I am quite comfortable going in myself. I am comfortable with my stealth skills.
Two
Yeah.
people, I think, would be fine if both of you went.
Yeah, I like that idea. I mean, I've never witnessed Gabriel do anything like this, but I know I can, and I know he knows your friend and can hold his own in a fight.
Exactly. You've never seen me do something like this. Exactly.
And I have some spells that can at least help you a little bit.
Okay, cool. So it sounds like me and Gabriel finding the best way to sneak into this building. Hestia and Nomad, y'all can keep watch and find a way to warn us if something goes wrong, and vice versa.
Yeah, Hestia, that'll be good.
Are we sure we want to split? Maybe we can all go together.
It is certainly not a good idea for me, unless I can somehow make it look like I'm supposed to be there. But I doubt that.
I mean, we could always find a way to get a guard or a city guard's clothes or something and have you disguise them.
Okay, are the guards around the building, are they undead? Or are they, like, living, breathing people?
That is a good question. So, let me... Gosh, I'm just gonna... I'm gonna share the map, but you guys will not know the contents of any room until you get there. Just because I'm still figuring out layers and fog of war and all that, so that'll just be... Oops. Right, you guys should be able to open something up in images. I think I've shared it. It's the Melakar building. You're able to see it in Fantasy Grounds?
All I see is Burwayne Eastfields.
Okay, let me...
I'm trying to remember where I go to even find the images.
Oh, great, and Fantasy Grounds is frozen.
What do I click to even get to... Oh, never mind, I found it. It is literally right in front of me. What was the name of the image again?
Let me share it. That should be shared now. Did that get shared?
I pulled it up myself. Though.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up myself, but I don't remember what you said it was named.
Images, and then MELE, and then it should be available there.
Melkar building?
Yes. And I will share my screen for the benefit of... Twitch.
Yeah, I still don't see it in the list for me, so I'll just...
You can just type in building and it shows up.
Oh, it did? Okay. Building. So we'll be on the building on the left.
I found it.
Okay.
Wait. I know I'm not there, but how do you find the building?
Go to images and type in building.
Building.
And by
Generic
the way,
building.
Thank you, Parley, for putting together this map. It looks awesome.
Thank you. I'm glad you think
so.
I'm not able to load it. It's completely a black screen for me now.
It's showing me a black screen as well.
Yeah, me too.
Are you able to see it, Parley?
I can see on your screen.
Okay. Yeah, just go to my screen if that's what works. Sorry. Oh, also, heads up to everyone. I think I told Parley yesterday, but we will be out of town for the next week, and so we will not have game on this next Friday. I will be enjoying the beach.
I will say that the map says it's read only, and that might have something to do with it, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how this works.
Yeah, there's some of the stuff that I'm still figuring out.
Oh, it
Well,
disappeared.
I just disappeared it.
I'm gonna try a different building. Oh, other buildings pop. Well, no, I don't know what this is.
Yeah, the Melikar building is the one. But okay, either way, if you guys can see it on my screen, then we'll go from there. I've had a busy week. I guess I say that every week, so maybe I should stop using it as an excuse. Either way, as you are approaching it, you notice there are 2 guards outside the building. They look attentive. I'm just gonna grab where's our NPCs? For the sake of right now, I'm just going to use these knights. What is going on? Oh, okay. I see. I put up walls and now they can't exit the walls. Okay. So there are... There we go. So there are 2 knights, 2 guards standing outside of the building. It is currently... Okay, sweet. So the building is currently completely blocked off. You notice that there are windows in a number of the rooms, but there are... Let's see, go ahead and give me a perception check, those of you who are scouting it out. And I will give a description for you. So Hestia, as you are looking at this, you notice the 2 knights are guarding the door. They look quite attentive. There are a couple of windows on the 2nd floor as well as on the 1st floor, to which you can see a couple of guards moving around on the inside. The building itself is made of white marble. It is very pristine. The low light of the city doesn't obscure the craftsmanship that would have gone into this building. It is likely left over from the previous kingdom, if not even a previous era. But it is very well built, very sturdy building, and it looks quite defensible. It's something that was built with a military mind, at least in part. So the size of the windows, for example, are not something you could just, fit through easily. You probably could get someone through them with a little bit of work, but you've got smaller slitted windows and only a few entrance points. You notice, I think this is the only entrance that is readily available from the outside.
And does there look like any other places that would be good to maybe make another entrance?
Like a window or something?
Well, I can stone shape and make a door if need be.
Oh,
The whole
that's a
building
good
is
idea.
stone.
Yep, so is there a hidden place that I can find?
So you can see that there's some hedges around each. Here, each of these tree stumps is actually a full tree that goes all the way up. They're a little bit further out from the building itself, but some of the branches do come within about 10 feet of the building.
Okay.
Though the branches themselves don't find themselves near any windows. So the windows are all in different parts of the building.
Alright. Are there a lot of people around?
2 guards on the outside, and you can see glimpses of guards in the windows. Just patrolling the area.
Okay, I relay all that information.
Right, so, what is the game plan?
I'll ask Gabriel and Tiffany. So, where do you think you're going to make your entry? Are you going to try to walk through the front door?
I mean, I was hoping there'd be a window without a guard, but since it seems like they have guards in them, that's going to draw more attention than a lot of things would. And obviously they're not going to let all of us in. I mean, maybe as... I don't know how to put this. Did we ever find out if the guards were undead or not?
Nobody has gotten close enough to be able to tell.
Okay. Well...
Anybody have an
might-
inkling of what this building is?
While you're watching, you do notice somebody being brought to the building. There is a skeleton that is dragging someone by the shirt and approaches the guards and hands them a piece of paper. The guards look at the piece of paper and open the doors, and the skeleton walks inside, dragging the man behind him.
One quick thing.
Yes.
Click on your map, and there should be a share. What is it? Share. Have you done that yet? Share.
Yeah, I did earlier
Okay.
on the image itself. At least
Yes,
on
it
the image,
says-
it's showing
says-
that it's public. That I'm
Yeah,
sharing
but
it.
while you're in it, it says you have to right-click on the map and select Share Sheet.
Because that's what I've had in the past, but for some reason this one isn't having that option. Let me try if this is not shared. Yeah, it doesn't have that option right now.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was just doing some
That's-
research. All right,
no,
continue.
that's how it's been in the past. That's why I'm really confused that it's... I must have done something wrong when I imported it. Because
Okay.
it's... Yeah,
All right, we'll continue. I was just trying to solve problems while you guys
no,
are doing this.
I appreciate it. Okay.
It still is in read only. I don't know if that makes a difference.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's in read only. I added it in a little different way than I usually have, and I'm wondering if I just borked it when I did that. I also might have just screwed something up when I was doing layers. But either way, I mean, if you guys can see my screen right now, then that should be good enough at the moment.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I can. That works. I'm not even there. Oh,
Oh,
it's
I see
there.
it.
Oh,
Whatever
really?
you just did.
Okay,
You-
that was
you fixed
the
it.
line of... Oh, I know exactly why.
Oh, you did. You made it go away now.
I did that on purpose.
I drew a line
none
on
of you,
accident.
None of you are on the map, and so that's why you can't see it.
Oh.
Because I have line of sight on. Okay, let's see if we can get this to work.
I'm sorry I drew that black line. That was a misclick.
You're good. Where's okay?
Tiffany,
combat
why are you
tracker.
level 7, not 8?
Who's
Uh,
level 7?
God of the campaign.
Okay.
God, Nomad, you got a lot of life. Jesus.
I got a lot of life to live.
All that HP, you can get hit by a fireball and shrug it off.
Okay. Hestia, you should be able to see, and Nomad and Tiffany, and then. Did we completely lose Gabriel?
He's muted. I don't know if he knows that he's muted, but...
I mean, he disconnected from Fantasy Grounds.
Oh.
But
That's-
Parley, Kayla, and Erica, are you guys able to see the map now?
I can
Yes.
see a part of
Okay.
it.
All right, so it's that line of sight.
Oh, I can see it now.
Yeah.
Oh, it went away.
I see.
I'm gonna do this so that way I can keep the boxes.
Oh, that's cool. So you can
Okay,
make it
good.
so
I
we
was-
literally can't see what
Okay,
we're...
good. That's what I was trying to do before. It worked, but I didn't realize that it worked. Okay. Okay. I like this.
I like it too because you can have secrets.
Yes.
We don't even...
I like having secrets, as anyone who's played with me before can attest.
Alright, well, now that we know what the map looks like, you can't do it now, but, like, next
Oh,
time,
can I?
you can totally just make it so we can't see the stream, and then give us bits by bits.
It's how it's gonna be.
I want to be surprised.
Oh, you will be surprised. Okay. All right.
Actually,
so-
I don't personally want to be surprised. Surprise Nomad, and let me be here so I can enjoy it.
okay. Now
The
back
guy
to,
who made the map, yeah.
Yeah. Parley has no idea what's going on here. But okay, so you are able to kind of get a view of what's on the outside and have that, you see that skeleton drag in someone, and other than that, what specifically might be going on here, you're not sure.
Was the person, like, struggling? Did they seem like they were knocked out or dead?
Struggling for a bit until the skeleton pretty much switched his grip from his clothes to his throat. And then the guy stopped struggling as much.
Well, let's see. And those two guards are the only ones we see outside.
Outside, yes. There's nobody patrolling the grounds. Just the two at the door.
Well, if we're gonna pretend like we belong here, we're gonna need to know what that piece of paper said that he gave the guard.
Yeah, it seems like we either have to find a way in that's not the front door, or pretend to be people who belong there and get them to let us in. Or somehow knock them out and two of you can disguise yourselves as guards instead, but I think that would draw attention.
Yes, I don't believe I could knock them out quick enough without making a scene.
Yeah, me neither.
For greater context, you are probably there's a fair amount of field surrounding this building, and it is probably about 100 feet between it and the next building. It is a low traffic area, so there's not a lot of people around, but those who are around do have an air of belonging about them, I'd say. That they don't seem like your typical members of the society. That they are more upper class. They seem to be... I'm trying to think of a good way to describe it. Does that make sense, or should I describe that further?
What was the last thing you said about society?
They don't seem to be the lower class of society. The people that you do see
Okay.
around here, they're more finely dressed. They have more noble look about them. Not necessarily all wealthy, but definitely not the dregs of the city. Out in the main part of the city, you saw a lot more people. Not any beggars, but you saw people that were more unkempt, dirty, and just certainly less well off. Where those you see here, you see more upper class merchant sort of look from a lot of them.
How well dressed is Tiffany compared to these people?
Good question. Tiffany, what sort of outfit are you wearing? I don't know if that's something we've talked about.
I don't think we've talked about that at all, actually, except I do know I disguised myself to talk to the merchant in that store.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we even got to the details of what those clothes would be then. So.
Oh, well, if you can disguise yourself, Tiffany, you could pretend to be taking me in. I mean, I certainly can look beleaguered and rugged if I want. You know, like that one guy I assume was. But the one guy that I saw dragged in, I assume he didn't have the nicest clothes, right?
Correct.
This wasn't. Okay, yeah. I could disguise myself as one of these knaves, so to speak, and you could pretend to be taking me in. There is the question of the paper, but you could maybe talk your way out of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to pretend to Sir Pietro, which I could, but I do wish I knew what was written on that paper so I know protocol. Because I don't want to seem like someone who absolutely doesn't know what the standards are. Do any of you know enough about...
Give me a moment. I will be back. Sorry.
Okay.
No, about what?
I was going to ask if any of you knew enough about this Vampire King or whatever to know of something we could say to still make it seem like we're important even without any sort of paper. Like, you guys might get fired for not listening to us despite us not having this thing. But I'm guessing none of us here have that sort of knowledge.
Fortunately not. I would certainly assume not, at least.
Yeah. I kind of wish that Jasper dude was here.
You could maybe just ask the guards for a favor, or... I'm not sure. Make it sound like we'll be in and out. Or, I don't know, maybe you could say you're new. Or ask how to get another one. I don't know. I'm not sure. That is an issue. We could maybe wait till another skeleton comes by with the paper and try to get a look at that, but yeah.
Who knows
as
how
far
long
as
that
that
would
goes.
take.
Exactly.
Yes, who knows how long we'd have to wait for that. If not, heck, if some of you could command undead or something and take control of a skeleton.
Where are you guys at? Where are you guys at when you're kind of watching and discussing?
Well, wouldn't be as close as we are now.
Certainly.
Can assure you of
I
that.
just have that on there so that you guys can actually see the building. Are you able to just see the outline, by the way?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can just see like
The grass
the very
and the
beginning
grounds?
of it, like the front. Yeah, I can see like the one tree, some of the
Okay.
hedges, and the two guards. And actually, it might be smart for us to be around the tree because it would be something to somewhat give some cover.
I can't really control undead, but I can animate the dead. but I don't see how that would be useful. So sorry.
Well, if you
Yeah,
can make a
so-
skeleton, you could pretend to be pulling us in.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, there still is the issue of the paper, but I mean,
Well, I also can alter myself and change my form to a smaller medium humanoid.
I think if we went with the animate dead, we still have the issue of the paper, but the guards can't exactly question skeleton, you know?
Yeah.
The skeleton walks
Yeah,
up and just sits there. I mean, what are they even going to do?
Okay, well, we just need to find a skeleton. Can I do a perception to see if I can find out where one might be?
You're looking for an unattended skeleton?
Yes.
Go ahead and give me a wisdom check.
Oh, I thought you could just create one. I'm sorry.
Well, here, let me check.
Out of curiosity, as an observer, have we gotten in contact with Gabriel at all?
He's with them. We're just
Like, I mean, the actual.
the actual player. That's one of the reasons I got my phone. Hold on, let me.
That is sick.
Because we've been missing him for like 2 weeks, and I thought we were gonna get a taste of him. And
Yeah,
what
it
are
has
you,
to be a
some kind of
corpse.
vampire trying to bite off Gabe or something? Come on, man.
well, no, I miss his input. His
Me too.
Sounded like you were gonna input your teeth into his flesh.
I
Want a
miss his
taste of him.
his hesitating
typing.
bowstring.
Plot twist. Prince is really a vampire whose primary target is Gabriel.
Why does hesitating bowstring sound like it should be an innuendo or something? Like, or maybe
Everything
it's
is an innuendo.
If you try hard enough.
Yes, just
Oh,
like
yeah,
everything's
yeah.
a dildo. Actually, I shouldn't say that.
No. My disappointment is immeasurable. My day is ruined.
Well, okay, the way I
Anyway.
look at it, Tiffany, is that unless you can cleanly break into the building, I think the front door, with or without a paper, is still going to be our best bet. I mean,
I agree.
depending on what they say, you can probably, or you can maybe talk your way out of it. That's, of course, a little more iffy, but it's probably the most guaranteed option, because then,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
you at least look
Hestia,
like
Yeah,
you're
would-
supposed to be there more.
relating to your wisdom check, you're
Uh-huh.
looking around trying to think of where you could find a skeleton, and it occurs to you the easiest way would be able to make one.
Like, kill someone?
That would be the easiest and fastest way to find a skeleton in this city.
Okay. But I don't want to.
I mean, I didn't say you
Kill
had to. I'm
someone.
just saying that is the
Kill-
fastest and most reliable way for you to find a skeleton to use.
I know, but I want to find a unattended skeleton. Or is there
in a,
more
in a
around?
city in a city of undead, that is not super likely to find unattended
Do we have any
skeletons.
graveyards around?
You could look around for one. You could consult your map, or you could talk to someone.
Well, I mean, going in, just exhuming somebody, assuming that they have already been dug up to be an undead servant, I think is pretty unlikely. And then we have an issue of somebody seeing us do it. So, I
Right.
don't.
It does sound like
More trouble
me
than
just
it's worth.
pretending. It does sound like me just pretending I'm a new important person, and that you are a prisoner makes more sense. I wish I had some knowledge of this Pietro guy to know what to say to make myself seem like an important. Hestia, though, you said something about you have.
About
That
what?
might could make way in.
A what in?
Did you say you had some spell or stone that might could make us a way in?
Yes, I can just mold the stone into what we need it to be.
but we know there are guards inside too. So that would attract attention. Hmm.
I would be great for like making an emergency getaway, but yeah, getting in, that would definitely raise some alarms.
Yes. I would kind of like to take one more close look to the building to see if it looks like there are any spots that are far enough away from a window, or any spots where it is easier to...
I mean, here on the... I'm going to put you over here. You notice there is a small slit in a window that goes into a room here that appears to be unattended.
Yeah, you said there's a window there?
It is a small slit, not necessarily a window big enough for you to get through, but enough for you to see through.
Okay, so can I take a look through it and see what I see
Give me a
in
perception check. So within the room, you are able to see several chairs and a desk, what appear to be a number of papers, as well as some filing some cabinets on the wall. This appears to be some sort of clerk's office, to your best guess, though you can't see evidence of any recent occupancy. There's unlit candles, the light is dim.
Hestia could stone shape, as long as we're out of sight. She could make a big enough opening there to where it wouldn't be maybe like too obvious. And then you could get in, and if that's just a closed room, maybe, I don't know, you could just walk right out of the room and pretend like you own the place. That's another option.
Yeah, that might be our easiest option yet. Do I see any doors to the room? And are they open or closed?
There is one door. It is opposite the slit that you have, and it is closed at the moment. So, yeah.
Okay, Hestia, do you want to try that? And if it fails, we default to the front door?
Yeah, let's do it.
Go ahead and give me a stealth check, Hestia.
I'm pretty stealthy.
Let's see it. Nice.
Ba-bam.
Okay, so you make your way over here, and you're able to get kind of up against the wall near the bushes. What is it that you want to do with your stone shape? You can move it around. I can't remember the exact area, but
I want to make a door out of it
what
that we
sort
can
of door?
pass through.
And how do you want it to be in there? Go ahead and describe to me because the wall itself goes up about 20 or 30 feet.
Yeah,
other
I
floor
want
to
it
the
to
ceiling
be
of the
just
roof.
big enough for us to walk through.
To walk through?
Well, sorry, we can crouch through.
Okay.
I don't want it to be very noticeable.
Okay. So you make a small enough... gosh, how can I... Oh. So you make a small enough thing in the bottom of the wall that kind of goes along with everything else. Are you guys able to see the entire building right now? Yeah, okay.
Most of it.
Yes.
Okay. Nomad, are you going in with them?
Sure.
Okay. Going inside. Okay. So you're able to make your way in without drawing any attention. From the outside, unless someone's close, they wouldn't be able to see the opening that you made. But here in the room, you see a couple of scattered papers, but for the most part, everything appears to be well ordered.
Do any of these papers look a similar size and shape as the one the skeleton slipped to the guards?
Yes. You notice a small stack of papers. These are the ones that are the least ordered. It appears that they haven't been properly filed yet. You're able to rifle through them, and most of them appear to be a list of crimes. You notice a couple that say stealing or something of the like, disturbing the peace. Typical crimes that you'd find in a city, such as this. There is a kind of a list at the bottom of each sheet that kind of has a list of punishments. And the one that is checked on almost every single box is, there's a list of punishments for each one. There is hanged, flogged, drained, and what's the other one? Humiliated is the last one. But there's nothing checked on any of these.
Okay.
That was the punishments?
Punishments, yes.
Yes. And the crimes are on the scattered sheets of paper.
Yeah. And each one
What
has
does drained mean?
I mean, in a town full of vampires?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. That's a lot to drink, though. That's like a couple of gallons. Anyways.
Okay, so here's the thing. We could continue to explore this place this way, but as soon as we open the door, we could get into a guard. We know what these papers are, so I suggest we try to piece of paper of similar size, write a crime on it, and go with your initial plan.
Okay. Yeah, I think that definitely works.
None of the papers before you have names or anything on them.
Yeah, so we wouldn't need that. We would just need to make up a crime and put it on a piece of paper. Do any of us have paper we could use for this purpose? Or, well, actually, could we reuse one of these? Are there any marks on the slips of paper besides...
Nope.
Oh, so
most
we
of the
could
slips
just
of paper
reuse
they have a crime listed and then a place to write the intended punishment. Or the punishment that was performed.
Okay.
I am back. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Is there anything on these slips of paper, like a number, to indicate that they're different from other ones?
There is a brief description. Sorry, I'd forgotten to mention this. There's a brief description of the perpetrator on each one, though it is very loose. It is, gender, size, general clothing description.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm going to ask that either Hestia or Nomad see if they have any paper on them of a similar size and shape where we can write this stuff on. But in the meantime, I want to look through the papers and see if any have a general description that I could pass Nomad off as.
Yeah, no, you find one without too much trouble. There's one of the pages that describes someone that is comparable to his build. Someone, a stockier, heavy-set man. You can tell that it wouldn't be too much difficulty for you to alter it and maybe change the description just enough to fit Nomad.
Okay.
Such a forgery would be a linguistics check, by the way.
Okay, I am going to try to make such a forgery.
I'll give guidance for that.
Okay. Yeah, without too much difficulty, you use some of the materials there in the room to change some of the details and give a good description of Nomad. The crime given was disturbing the peace on that page. That was already
Sounds
close
fitting.
to his description.
Sounds very fitting. Okay, Nomad, so it looks
What? For
like...
me?
it looks
I'm
like
sorry, go on.
maybe we should go along with your initial plan of going through the front door, just so we don't draw any more attention in this building that makes it seem like we shouldn't be here.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I
We should what?
said, I think with this, we could get you and myself through the front door, so it is like we belong here.
I agree.
And that might be better than just exploring from this room, because as I said, we might open that door and there be guards. And then we'd have more explaining to do. So, I suggest we go back out and go through the front door. Or at least me and you. Hestia, I don't know what you want to do, but...
I think I'll try and just be as sneaky as possible. That's my plan.
If you had wanted to stay in that room and us collect you when we left, we could, but that might put you at greater risk than being outside.
I think that sounds good.
What, you staying outside or are you staying in the room?
In the room.
Okay. Yeah.
I can just meld into the shadows. No one should notice me.
Okay,
Where are you going to
cool.
stay, Hestia?
In the shadows, I melt in with them.
Okay, outside or inside?
Inside.
Oh, okay. In that same room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Alright. So
We can-
I'll take.
Let me get Gabriel on here
Go ahead.
as well.
I'll kind of be in the doorway between the two rooms, so I can just be watching
Go ahead and give me a
both
perception check.
spots.
Which one of us?
Hestia, since she's going to be kind of at the doorway. Okay, yeah. So you're just kind of listening and watching out there.
Okay.
Okay. Gabriel, did you hear
I'll-
enough of the plan, or do you need them to kind of retell you what's going on?
Do we have a Gabriel?
We do. He's here. In his
I am here. Can you guys just tell me again real quick?
What?
Can you guys just go over the plan again real quick? Just cliff notes.
Well, we snuck into a single room, forged the documents so me and Nomad can get through the front door. Hestia is staying in the room, kind of just chilling in the shadows, trying to hide. And I don't know if you want to stay in the room with her or stay outside or what.
So
But-
what's the differences of staying in the room versus going outside?
Wherever you think you might be undetected best or most useful. I don't know.
I will stay in the room, and I would like, if I have time, I would like to take. Can I take a 20 to hide?
Okay, well, hopefully no
Or-
one besides us goes in that room.
You could pretend like you're taking Gabriel in as well.
Can I look
Yeah.
through those papers again and see if any match Gabriel's description to also fake his way through?
Hello. You do not find any that are close to his description.
Okay, well, unless you guys have some very similar paper on you, I think I can only sneak Nomad in.
I will
Okay,
hide in the
that makes
room.
Okay, well,
I will take my armor off then.
yeah. If either of you
then-
have some way to barricade or guard the door to keep people from coming in, you might want to utilize it.
Okay.
What were you saying, Nomad, about taking off your armor?
Take off my armor, just down to my linens. Then if I can just get like some dirt off the ground, just like smear it where I can. You know, just dirty myself up in general.
Mhm.
Put some on my face and that over my body. And I'll take my hair and I'll just make it look, like as messy as I can. rather than this nice combed look I usually have.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just like ruffle it up a bunch.
Okay.
Um,
Are you going to have any assistance with kind of messing up your appearance, or just do it yourself?
I would
Yeah,
ask
okay.
Tiffany if, with her expertise with this.
Yes.
Tiffany, go
What would I need to roll for that?
Roll a. Actually, I will just roll a disguise check for you. That way, you don't
Okay.
know how good it is. It's better that
Okay.
way. Okay, so you help rough him up and muddle his appearance to make him look the part.
How tall are you, Tiffany?
How tall am I? Deckard.
It's up to you.
I would say you are tall for a woman and lean. Actually, let me double check your stats. Very lean of build. So tall but lithe. Not really lanky. Like you're filled out. You're not supremely thin, but you're also not like you're not very heavy set.
Okay,
Didn't you
so-
roll like a nat 20 on her beauty?
No,
Yeah,
not
I rolled
10.
like
10 out
yeah.
of 10
10 out of 10.
yeah.
plus her charisma
Yep.
bonus, which is
Yep.
Good.
So tall for a woman, I would guess like 5'8" then.
Probably more like 5'9", 5'10".
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. So, Gabriel and Hestia are in the room, keeping an eye out.
Are there any weapons in the room?
No weapons in the room. This looks to be a clerical office.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, if one of you wants to stand guard outside, I don't.
I would ask Tiffany that you carry your whip on you, just in case I need to use it. I can just grab it then.
I could carry your whip.
Is that not what I said? Sorry. Yeah,
Well,
if you can
you
hold
said
my
not.
whip.
Okay, sounds
Yeah. If you can hold on to that, so if I have need of it, we can
Yeah.
still bring it into the building.
I will-
And then
I will hold on to it like I'm ready to use it on you anytime as when I drag you to the guards.
of course, you could tie my hands up with it and just be like leading me along.
Okay, sounds good. I will do that.
Okay.
Go
All right,
ahead
and then I'm good to go.
Go ahead real quick, make a dexterity check, Tiffany, to tie that up.
Dexterity. Where is dexterity on
It'll just be on the
the main
main.
page? Yeah.
Yeah, main.
Oof.
Yeah, you're able to tie it up sufficient that you can release it without harming Nomad, just as a swift action.
Okay.
But that it looks as if it's tied well. So it's
Okay.
you kind of tie it up in one of those sorts of ways that, to a passing glance, if someone doesn't pull on it, it looks like it's a good knot. But you pull on it just right, and then it's gone. It's not holding
Okay.
anything.
Perfect.
Okay,
All right.
go ahead, Nomad.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, I'm ready to go when you are, Tiffany.
Okay. I'm going to try to disguise myself to, I guess, get as close to looking like I'm a similar class to the guards as I can, given the circumstances and materials available, which may not be very close, but whatever.
So, what kind of armor is it that you have, Nomad?
Pretty much plate
Okay, plate.
is what I had.
Okay, never mind. I was going to say you could. What are you doing with your armor?
I don't know if I could just put it in a sack and entrust it to Gabriel if he would be so kind as to look after it in the meantime.
Does anyone have any spells or something they could use to help hide it?
I got a
And
bag of
keep it in
holding.
place? Okay, cool.
Perfect.
Okay. Tiffany, with your armor at least, you're able to not necessarily fit in with the guards. They are also wearing breastplates, but you're able to at least make yourself look official and much like what you've seen some of the guards in the city dressed as.
Okay, cool.
Without, just with some of the you keep extra clothing in your thing, so you can kind of like piece together an outfit with different color schemes and things like that. And so you're able to kind of put something together to at least blend in well enough. And I'm gonna roll another disguise check for you for that, if I can find it. There we are. Okay. So yeah, you put together a disguise for yourself as well.
Okay. Sweet. So, we ready then?
Ready.
Okay. So, I guess I will, with the piece of paper in hand, and I will kind of just drag Nomad along where I have a bit of a hold of him, kind of aggressively, but and assertively. And I guess
So-
we'll go up to the guards.
And then lastly, Nomad, can you give me a bluff check? I'm going to give you some bonuses given the circumstance. I just want to see how well you're going to play this off.
I guidance myself first.
That's fine.
Oh boy. There we go. Oh.
There we go. Okay, so you two round back out of view of the guards, and you kind of come out of cover down the road and begin making your way up. And periodically, you've got the whip tight enough, Tiffany, that you're able to yank on it a little bit and put some pressure. And as long as you don't do it in a certain way, then it won't undo the knot. And so you're able to kind of pull Nomad along. And at one point, as you get close, you kind of pull it in such a way to pull Nomad off balance. And Nomad, you kind of fall to the ground, catch yourself so you don't get hurt, but you're able to play it off as if you'd, been pulled off balance and fallen. And Tiffany, you're able to kind of like yank him back up and kind of put on that sort of show as you approach the guards.
Okay, perfect.
And one of the guards, as you approach, they're kind of watching the whole thing. And he says nothing, but he looks out at you and holds out a hand.
And I will put the piece of paper in his hand.
He looks at the paper, looks at Nomad, looks at you. I haven't seen you around here before.
I'm new to this assignment.
Who sent you?
Oh, can we get this over with already?
The guard looks at you. Get him inside. They'll know where to put him.
I will just nod at the guard as if he hadn't questioned me at all, and I'm just doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
I'm gonna, as we're walking past the guard, I'm going to go and just spit. Not on him, but just near him.
And as you do that, I'm going to do something kind of like an aggressive shove towards you, as kind of like a putting you in your place sort of gesture.
Okay, actually, so as you spat Nomad, the guard takes up his hand and he's about to strike you, but as Tiffany reaches forward and does that whole thing, he stops. And he looks at her, and you can't see too much of him behind his visor, Tiffany, but you can see a little bit of approval as he stops and as he's looking at you. Take a left as you get in, he says. Follow the corridor and ask for Rudy. He'll tell you where to go.
I'm just going to nod and kind of a thank you sort of way, and kind of push at Nomad again to get on our way the direction he said.
Okay. I'm just going to take the visibility line of sight thing off for now. Okay, so you get past the guards, and as you enter here, you see kind of a large entryway. There are a number of stands and tables in front of you. To the right, you see the wall that is likely the room where you had been previously, where you got the papers. And then you can see a guard walking down. Let me add another one to the... Oops, that is not the right thing. See a guard walking down the hall this way, kind of just on patrol. And he stops when he gets to about here, and then turns around and makes his way back this way. And you see another one over here to the left. Or you at least hear footsteps from there to the left.
Okay, so guard on each side, walking up and down.
You can see there's kind of a large dais here in the middle. The ceiling is vaulted. It goes about 15 feet up. And it looks like in this area, it's kind of a platform that's out in the middle that overlooks kind of this whole entrance area. And there's also a couple benches and things to either side of the entrance. But in general, this looks to be more of a processing center than anything else.
Okay, do I notice anyone at this processing center-like place, or is it just empty?
At the moment, it is empty. This is the first time in the city that you see things have less population or less busyness than what you would expect from a normal city under normal circumstances.
Do I need to roll a perception check to see if there's anything in particular of note I see in that area?
Here, one sec. Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check.
I can actually grab the die, that would be good.
It would help.
23.
You notice a streak of blood for a little ways on the path to the left. It periodically is on the ground, and then there's a break without it, and then again on the ground. You also notice a number of flags on the wall. You recognize the flag both of Zelkir and Melkar. And then there is one that you are unfamiliar with. It shows a sun setting and a moon rising side by side.
Interesting.
Or perhaps, as you look at it further, perhaps the moon is setting and the sun is rising. But either way, it shows a landscape with those two.
Okay. And besides the room directly to the left and right in this guy's area, I don't notice any rooms yet.
There's no further rooms. There's immediately behind the dais. There looks to be kind of a couple of spots where someone can get up onto the dais, but behind the dais is just flat wall.
Okay. So, is there anyone close enough to hear me whisper to Nomad?
No, there is not.
Okay, so I'm gonna whisper to Nomad and say, do you think we should go the direction he said and knock out any guards that give us trouble, or should we explore otherwise? Do you have any idea here?
There's just those 2 patrolling guards, right? Those are the only people that we see immediately.
Correct.
Okay.
We can either keep this disguise up through dealing with them, or we could try to take them out.
We could walk around for the time being, just like this. And then, if we need to go somewhere where we think we shouldn't be, then we should consider attacking the guards, if that makes sense.
What I was thinking. Okay, well, let's play along for these guards and whoever this Rudy person is. So, I will... Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, we could check the room, though, to the left here, just in case.
Yeah, let's do that.
And if somebody's in there, we can just be like, oh, whoops, sorry.
Wrong place. Yes, let's do that.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check before you go in.
Is it possible to just, like, take 10 on perception as we walk through the
Yes,
place?
it is.
Okay, I'd rather do that.
Okay. As you approach the door, you carefully get close to it, put your ear to it, and you hear the sound of scribbling and the sound of someone muttering to themselves.
Okay. Is their muttering completely ineligible to me?
At the moment, yes. You can just hear the scratch of pen on or of a quill on paper, and someone just muttering to themselves. You're not able to tell.
I'm going to quietly walk away from the door and gesture Nomad to do the same, or walk along with me. I guess I'd still have a bit of a hold of him.
Yep.
Because whoever that is doesn't sound like they're worth disturbing. Because it's probably someone important. So, what do you say we just move along to the left until we see something else of interest?
I'll nod.
Okay. So I guess we'll move along the left hallway, acting like we belong.
Okay. As you are making your way through, you notice the guard, and he looks at you, and looks at Nomad, and then turns and continues his route after pausing for a moment to see you.
So he doesn't say anything?
Doesn't say anything.
Is he living, or is he not?
Make a perception check. Or if you'd prefer a sense... Well, yeah. Give me a perception check.
Yeah, Tiffany, gonna need your expertise on this.
Yeah, you are very much paying attention to passing yourself off. Tiffany,
I got a 24.
there is an unnatural way to the way that he moves. Whether he is an intelligent undead or not, you can't be sure, but there's certainly something about him that seems off.
Okay, good to know. Well, as...
Just because... Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna... Just because that will be important to know if we can knock them out or not.
Yeah.
But I'm good to go, though.
Yeah, and I'm not sure I could actually whisper to you without it noticing, so I'm just going to kind of, I guess, elbow a bit and hope that you get the idea, but anyway, as long as it doesn't talk to us, I will keep walking along, seeing if I notice anything of note or that looks like it could be a room that Maleth is in or of some sort of useful import.
You notice that each of the rooms up here at the top, there's 5 doors that you see against the wall to the back. And then to the right, it looks like it opens up. Let me see if I can get the line of sight again. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, as you come up here, this is kind of what you can see, is that there's 5 doors and then it opens up here in the middle.
Okay.
When the guard is moving down on his patrol, you could maybe put your ear to the door there.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of do. I was kind of want to really slowly and carefully pay attention to when I can get by with being close enough to a door to listen in without looking suspicious. And I would be very careful about timing and method with that. Possible.
Okay, say that again, what you're going to do.
I said I would like to kind of just be aware of when might be a safe time to get close enough to a door to listen in without looking suspicious. And I would be doing this very slowly, carefully, methodically.
You can tell by the way that they're moving that you're only going to have a quick window, and especially if you want to escape notice, you don't want to linger too long. So you can seize the first opportunity that you're pretty sure that you'll have, but you'll just have to take it and see how it goes.
That's it. That's all I'm wanting.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, go ahead and give me a stealth check and a perception check.
Okay. Oh no!
Okay, give me a perception check.
Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely.
Just wrong room it. Just sorry, wrong room it.
Yes.
Okay. You step up to the door, and as you go to put your head up close enough to listen, you accidentally tap the door. Just slightly. And you hear a voice. Come in.
Oh boy. Okay, I guess I would open the door because it would seem suspicious to not do anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You open the door and you see someone in deep black armor. The best way that I have a picture that's very similar to it. There's a
This whole time, I'll just be keeping my head down, have my long hair just cover my face. Yeah.
Let me see if I can share this one. Okay, are you guys able to see this that I just shared to the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, this one did it good. I guess the problem before was I had put a grid and visibility up. That's right. Okay. So it looks about like this, except for the helmet is off. And the outfit looks very similar, though there are some variations from this image. And you see the face of a woman, though the eyes are red, and the skin is a bit more gaunt than you would expect. Who are you? She looks at you and at Nomad, being led by your whip.
I was told to take this prisoner to Rudy, and I thought this might be where I found.
Yes, I am Rudy. Who are you? I don't recognize your face.
I am new to this particular task.
I'm not often sent new recruits. Who sent you?
I was told that doing this labor would help prove my loyalty to His Majesty.
Hmm. One of those, she says with a touch of distaste. Very well. What's this one in for?
Disturbing the peace.
She looks him up
I
and
would
down.
say, and I would like kind of gesture the piece of paper in my hand as I said it.
She looks him up and down. A sturdy one, this one. Would be a great candidate for the draining. He'll last a long time, I think. How severe was his infraction?
Is there anything I would have gotten from the scraps of paper I glanced through earlier to know a good answer to this question?
They didn't have a ton of detail. What you do know is that the infractions ranged from minor stuff like just disturbing the peace and theft up to you had noticed one that was murder.
Okay.
Or actually, you'd noticed one that was unauthorized unlife and one that was unauthorized killing. So it didn't say murder; it was unauthorized killing.
Okay. I guess my question is, would I have any idea from looking up that stuff how serious she would consider disturbing the peace? Or what she'd consider a serious infraction?
No. She looks at you, even more sternly. Who did he disturb?
From my understanding, he got drunk and accidentally killed someone without any sort of permission to do so.
She steps forward. Show me the paper.
I'd show it to her.
Serious? You're indicting me for murder?
She looks at it. Looks at Nomad. You filled out this form. Go ahead and give me a bluff check, Tiffany.
Okay.
So that bluff check is kind of going for this whole encounter, and she looks at you and says, "You caught me on a good day. I'll tell you what. I'll give you a tip. Do not underreport infractions. If you wish favor in the eyes of His Majesty or any of his underlings, you will be exact and prompt in all that you do. If you are to have any hope of ever being chosen for something higher, then you will speak quickly when spoken to by one of your betters, and you will listen, and you will be precise. Unauthorized killing. Take this one upstairs. One of the draining chambers should be free. He shall not see the light of day in the city again. Prepare him there, string him up, and then return to your post."
I'll nod and say, "Thank you, my lady."
She sniffs. "Go about your way." And she begins to walk away and then looks back and says, "The draining chamber will be to your right as you get to the second level. Now go. Be quick about it. I expect to hear his screams in not too long. And with that, she goes back into her room and closes the door.
Okay. When we're out of range where I think she couldn't hear us whisper, I'm just going to say to Nomad, scream for your life in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
But otherwise...
Really, Tiffany? Murder? Okay, why did you have to tell them that it was that serious?
Well, I didn't know that they counted it as serious. It seemed much less serious than, like, intentional murder.
Okay, I understand.
I mean, it had to be serious enough to warrant bringing you here, right?
Well, they already knew what I had done. Because of the paper.
Well, how do I know the specifics of what undead consider disturbing the peace? Their existence is the disturbance of the peace.
Okay. You know what? We're getting off track. I'm sorry. You played it well. Okay. We're all
I'm going
good.
to kind of smile and nod as we kind of move towards the stairs where she pointed. But as we walk, I'd like to try to see if any of the doors indicate they might be a different type of room than an office or clerical thing. Like if there's anything that signify they're different than the rooms we've been in so far.
The two rooms to the side of the staircase have a look more like that of storage rooms. The other rooms here look to be offices of some sort, or at least have comparable doors to what her office had. As far as the outside goes, there's nothing... Oh, actually, hold on. The three in the middle have a sign out front that says holding.
Okay. Three in the middle have a sign that says holding.
Real quick, I'm gonna give Tiffany, I can't remember if I did this already, just like a brief description of Mayleth. Did she come up on her, just like hair color, eye color, just average build, and that. Just in case we get separated, so she knows who to look for.
So, the door that says holding. I kind of just want to listen in, but at the same time I don't want a mistake like that one, so... what do you think, Nomad? Should we try this, or should we go upstairs? And I'd be whispering this very carefully.
I would probably assume that they're holding her upstairs. I think if anything, we can probably come back down and check. But yeah, for now, we shouldn't overstay our welcome on the first floor, I think.
So let's go upstairs, and as we go, I would like to kind of listen to see if I hear anyone screaming or anything to give an idea of where the draining place is or how well someone might hear someone who is in that area.
Actually, that's a good question. If there's anyone...
I'm gonna let my dog out real quick. I'll be
you're
back in
good.
just a few seconds.
Actually, can I hold on just a minute too? I want to grab some, like,
Yeah,
coffee.
I was actually going to say this is probably a good place to switch to Jasper and Prince.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go get coffee then.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment. So, switching gears, Jasper and Prince. You are still in the presence of the king and of his entourage. Now, as I recall, actually, before I continue, Jasper, Prince, are you both ready and present?
I am here.
Jasper?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm
sweet.
sorry, I just I was like, "Where's the mic? Where's the mic?" But
Where's the
Found
mic? Where's the mic? Okay. Right. Let's see. Where did we leave off last time? I know that.
He just showed him a
Jasper-
ring.
Okay, Jasper, you showed him the ring after. Okay, so Pietro had said to you, "Why is it that I should let you live? Why shouldn't I just kill you now, when you would have done this? You attempted the same when our positions were reversed, and then you procured the ring and gave it to him indirectly, at least."
Yes.
Let me finish pulling up my thing. Okay. Alright, so you give him the ring. And he sits back. So, you come, just the two of you. I summon your entire entourage, but you come alone.
I'm back.
Why are you here?
I'm here to talk business. But before that, my friend here has been rather anxious to meet you. Well, he has many a question for you. Curious as to what your designs are, and he was perhaps the most willing and open-minded to hear your side of things.
That's true. But I'm also curious about other things as well that I wasn't really privy to or that curious about until I got here. You act like you've recognized me before. I know I've been here before. I know I'm from Zelkir, but I don't have many memories of my previous life, and when I was in where I was, I didn't really have that much of a desire to search for what it used to be.
You speak in interesting ways. Do you know the face that you wear? Do you know to whom it belongs?
Well, obviously it belongs to me, but I
Or-
don't know who that person is.
The better question is who that person was. But that is not something for me to share.
Well,
So I have a friend who will be quite intrigued to see you, should the opportunity arise.
well, I would definitely be interested to meet this person, but that aside for now.
Go ahead and make a perception check really quick.
Okay. Oh, skills is having trouble load up. There it goes.
So you're watching Pietro, and after a moment, he puffs into mist, and after a few seconds, pops up right next to you, and begins circling you, looking at you, very intrigued is the best way to describe him. And you kind of notice all this happen and are able to kind of track him in the air as he's coming towards you as mist. But he walks around you and looks at you, runs a finger along kind of the back of your neck, kind of feeling just all around your throat. And he almost coyly says, "What are you?" I must admit that what I see intrigues me. You do not appear to be human. Something about you seems off. Your blood smells foul.
Yeah, I'm actually not that sure. It's funny to say that. I have spent an unknowable amount of years in the Outer Planes. It's hard to keep track there, depending on where you are, certainly. But I know that in the search for immortality, something strange happened. I became something, I don't want to say more,
Lesser.
but different. Lesser. You say lesser. Would you say that a vampire is lesser than a mortal?
One day, perhaps, you will see why you are lesser. You do not have the power that you might have had.
This is true, but I also don't have some of the weaknesses that come with that. For example, I suspect that...
As you're talking, by the way, he poofs into mist again and reappears on his throne and picks up his wine goblet again. If it is wine, at least.
I suspect that, not saying that this will happen, you seem like a very powerful individual, but if something were to happen to you, or any vampire, that would have you leave this plane, Pharasma would be very upset at what you have done. Upset is the wrong word. I don't
I know what
think...
you are now.
Do you?
Confused.
Yes, that is true. I am a bit confused.
You
But
seem very obsessed with yourself. Very important in your own eyes. Not too dissimilar from you. But regardless of what you are, I need to know why you are here. Why you come to my city. In my realm.
well, I actually don't know why I'm in Zelkir, but I am curious about why you're here. I do realize that you have been here for some time, but it seems as though you are trying to create a world that doesn't have the limitations of time, not in the same way that mortals experience the limitations of time. And, you know, I don't necessarily have anything against that, but the thing that troubles me is, and I've seen some deviations from that on my way here, but it seems like you're not...
Did he cut out for all you guys, or am I the only one?
Oh.
Okay, I can hear you again.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know.
I was saying that
I heard there are some deviations.
Okay. There's some deviations in trying to. It seems as though you're not giving people a choice in whether or not they can choose to be immortal or choose to live in such a land. And that is something that
Who
seems not.
chooses their birthplace?
Well, vampires to some degree. Did you have a choice in being a vampire?
I did not. Some do.
Do you give
For a
people a
moment, he
choice?
glances at Jasper as he says that.
Oh, it
those-
seems.
Jasper,
For those who are permitted to become greater than they were, many are provided that choice, yes. Though not all are. Some must learn to love the gift. Others choose it for themselves. But I would ask you, and the other realms here, who chooses who they are? You make it out as if other cultures are uniquely free, and that we are here in Zelkir forcing upon everyone the station of life that they have. That we are the only ones. We are no different. The difference only is that those who rise here in Zelkir need not fall, as they must elsewhere. We provide an opportunity that does not sap life from the land, but instead is able to create something that will last. Can Arador, with all its changing and corrupting politics, tout the same?
Well, I don't know much about this place you speak, but I do see your point, and I think it is I think it's a good one. But,
So if
I-
you're simply confused,
well, no, hold on. It's not. I may be confused, but there are things that I do know. And the things I do know is that there is something after a mortal life. I was in that something. And yes, although you are providing a way to escape the torments of whatever happens after a mortal life, you
think
condemn
that's what I'm
people.
doing.
Well, that's what you said you were doing, isn't it not?
Escaping the torment? No, we are providing a way for this life to never end. For those who
Oh.
are worthy of it.
Yes, but let me, with your forgiveness, give you an example. You had a progeny Ayuz had, and he startled members of our group, and he met a very grim fate. I do not mean this as a threat. I just mean this to say that those who are weak with your gift, after they have left this place, I can't imagine that the mechanisms of Pharasma have any leniency against the trans.
Gosh dang it. Is this...
Crap.
No, it's me. I don't know why.
What did you hear?
You can't think that Pharasma will have any leniency for those
Yes.
who... So, and then I think that was it.
Okay, for those that transgress against her machinations, essentially. I think it said something along those lines. So my point here is that although immortality can be a gift, I have had it, there are consequences to your actions, even to your children, that you cannot protect them from. And if, it is a gift, immortality is a gift, but it's a double-edged gift. I know from experience that it is a double-edged gift. And we have to, if you are going to create a world like this, you have to find a way to protect your children from unending torment, essentially.
Now, real quick, you had mentioned that you had disposed of his progeny? Or did you just say that you'd met him?
I said that I know he's met a grim fate
Okay.
from the members
Of the party.
of the party.
Okay.
I said he also startled them.
Yes, he looks at you and says, I know your kind. A preacher, follower of the gods. You speak in fear of Pharasma, but you preach her message, so to speak.
No, not her message.
Oh, but you do. You may be ignorant enough to not realize it. But you serve her in your own way. I've
No,
known
I
your
serve a
kind
Shava.
before. I've known your kind very much. And yet, you come here thinking to judge us, thinking to put upon us your labels, and give to us your judgments, the judgments of your God. He takes a deep breath. You think to come here and look down your nose at us. Yet you claim to know the fate of one that I created. I presume that is why Varsvol did not return last night. He had a run-in with you.
Don't, not me.
And he looks at you and Jasper. Did he strike first? Or did you?
I am actually not certain. I woke up to a loud bang. And when I came out to see the commotion, what I saw was being surrounded by, out of character, it was Wraiths, right? I think it was Wraiths.
Whites.
Whites. Okay, I would have known that, but I woke up to a loud bang and being surrounded by whites with your child there. What looks like an attack. I can't say who struck first. It's hard, I don't know. But what I do know is that he fought valiantly but insufficiently. And he had a lot of fear. He had a lot of fear of what comes next. He seemed terrified of not existing anymore. And that is often, it is the case with mortals, but it's a bit different. And I guess
Pietro takes a breath, turns to the side, and says, Zeri, the woman that you recognized before as a white in armor steps forward. Yes, your majesty, she says with a sickly, cool caress in her voice. What is it you wish? What did your soldier report? He reported that as they tried to make contact with our friends here, that Varzaval was attacked. They put fire between them and slaughtered those that they could. My soldier watched as they captured and tortured Varzaval and then destroyed him. Says Pietro. From the sound of it, you and your... He looks at Jasper for a moment. Companions may not be so pure as you seem to think you are. I do not believe that I got your name, he says as he looks at you, Prince. What did you say it was?
I don't know my name. I didn't really need a name before. I think I know that I'm from Zelkir, and I know that you've seen me before, so you could tell me my name better than I could.
Perhaps I could. I think I'll leave that little surprise for a more opportune time. But for now, I'd like to hear what Lord Bezzati has to say for himself. Why are you here, bringing death and destruction to my kingdom? Much as your friend likes to speak of the fear of death that some of my followers have, I'm certain that were I to put a blade to either of your throats right now, you'd cry and weep and ask for whatever mercy I might give, just as any of my followers might, if you had them in a circumstance like you had Varzaval the other night. So, Bezzati, why are you here, in company with the rest of your companions? And do be quick about it. I tire of the long words of your friend.
I'll certainly be quicker than my companion. And you and I both know I'm not deserving of mercy. I know that my life is being preserved simply because of this arrangement I've requested. I do know the whereabouts of what you seek.
His grip tightens on his glass.
I am willing to part with that information. I would ask for something in return.
Maybe
a mutual
price.
Arrangement. Not today, but I would like a meeting with Emmeline Tempest.
Why? You seek that which you lost, much as you withhold the same from me.
I wish to appeal to what humanity might be left in her.
You don't seek to uphold the oath that you once gave, to seek for together, or not at all. You haven't come to join her? Would you react to him saying anything like that, Jasper?
I'm one moment to think about that.
Sorry, my eyes are watering. It's too long looking at screens today, I think.
No worries.
Man.
One moment more.
Yeah.
I think I've got it. Jasper swiftly turns his body to the side and his head away from the presence of Pietro. And he stands there for 5 seconds looking away. He turns back and he's gripping his cane tight. Emmeline Tempest. Took what I love most from me. And if there is an ounce of regret in her, I think it's my privilege to help that swell within her. And I would see her willingly embrace with me the quiet cold of death.
Pietro begins to laugh. And throughout the throne room, most of his attendants laugh as well. You hear a grating sound as the jawbone and teeth of the skeleton that's got fire dancing between his fingertips grind together in almost a mockery of a laugh. You really think that she'll rejoin you, don't you, Jasper? You misguided fool.
And that is exactly what I am.
You want your meeting? I'll give you the meeting. Ms. And he puts emphasis on that Ms. Tempest is currently indisposed somewhere else. I suppose that you're wanting safe passage today in return for this, and he holds up the ring, promise. So am I to believe that that is the only reason with which you are here, Jasper? You trekked halfway across the world to come and die romantically in the arms of your lover. To be swept away together into the sweet nothingness of eternity. And such was the driving force for you through all these years, even decades. I'm to believe that you came here with no other intention.
Haste is not the quality of those with such long life. Let's not be hasty.
I will set up your meeting for you, Jasper. But let us be clear about one thing. Zelkir is not a place for the likes of you. You are not welcome here, and you never will be. By sundown, I expect you to be out of the walls of my city. I'll arrange the meeting between you and your love. But once your quest fails, know that if you set foot within my realm again, you will be killed on sight. And I will have from you that which you have promised. That in exchange for the mercy of letting you leave here alive, to die on your own terms. And you, he speaks to you, Prince. There may come a day where you can find a place here. If you aren't disposed of for the reminder that you are. But that is not my affair. I will let that be something that you decide amongst yourself, with yourself. But for now, do not disrupt my realm. Do not fight against what Zelkir is becoming, and you can be here in peace. But understand this. Those who try to stop what we are doing, what we are making, will find only the death that mortals fear so greatly. And you will find that much as you see yourself as more than mortal, much as you may foul the floor with your distasteful blood, you will die just as easily if you cross me. So, join us. Help us build the Zelkir of the future. Or stay out of our way. The choice will be yours. The same offer goes to the rest of your company. Become a part of the new Zelkir. Or leave.
Okay. What would it look like to become part of the new Zelkir for mortal beings?
Please don't be preachy to the king.
I am not being preachy. I'm just confused at what he means.
A preacher, a philosopher, an economist. I know not which labels you ascribe to yourself. But what
An
Zelkir
artist.
is becoming is a haven for the undead. Is a place where they can live free of the torment of the living. And those mortals who choose to dwell here and who live here, they can find opportunity being a part of this society. Or they can be those upon whom it is built. The choice will be theirs. Much as you have the choice now to leave or stay. I offer you the opportunity where Bizardi is not offered.
That is
threat
something.
is the same. Do not cross me, or I will take your fate into my own hands.
That is something I'll have to think about, for sure. I have not figured out how I feel about what you have done to Zelkir, but
The Zelkir that you may remember is long dead anyway. And it was so long before I stepped foot here. If anything, the only Zelkir that you have ever seen in recent memory is my Zelkir, the land of the dead, our kingdom. That is where I want to cut the interaction between you guys, unless you had something
Okay.
important that needed to be done right now.
I have one more thing.
Yes, go ahead.
If I may, Your Majesty, you mentioned arranging a meeting, and you do well in calling me a fool. I notice that your court lacks an apparent fool. It's quite unfitting for a court such as this. May I recommend arranging the meeting to be here? You see my endeavor as folly. I'm willing to fill that position of fool here in your presence. Perhaps everyone will get another good laugh out of my jests.
He looks you up and down. And why would you desire to remain here, O Lord Bezadi? Why should I trust you anywhere near me and mine? You've killed
I thought
before. You very well could kill again. It is only through necessity that you still walk and breathe as we speak.
I simply thought you would find it quite entertaining to see the punchline of the joke, whichever way it goes.
He stands up and, swirling his drink in his glass, he walks up to you. And he sniffs and takes a sip. At this point, you can see by the way that the drink is moving around that it has a bit more of a thick consistency than wine, and you do get a whiff of it, and it does smell to be blood. The only joke that I intend to have here, the only punchline involving you, Jasper Bezadi, is the laughter that will come when I slit your throat and bathe in your blood.
Yeah, I don't know that one. Perhaps I'm not fit to be your royal fool. After all. Shame.
The only royalty you are is a royal pain in my ass. Now, guards, see to it that they leave the premises. So we'll cut that there. Now, if we... let's see, it's 11:45 here, and what are you guys feeling as far as the springing and finding Maleth? Are you okay having that be next time? It's going to be 2 weeks.
Wait, we're not playing next week?
I will be out of town.
Ah.
I would say regrettably, but I'll be at the beach. So
I mean, I'm fine with just picking this up, so I
Okay.
don't have to rush this. It doesn't
Yeah.
particularly matter to me
I'm
either
fine
way,
with
though.
whatever.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, me too.
Is there anything else that we wanted to take care of tonight? I know Gabriel and Hestia, you weren't able to do as much. Did you want to play out anything while Nomad and Tiffany are making their way upstairs?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Do it.
I don't think Hestia and Gabriel have that kind of relationship. I'm sorry.
Well, now's the time to start it.
What? But you mean
Now's
you've
the
known each other
time
for all
to
these years?
Start it.
Come
Start
on.
it. Get it going. Get it going right now. I mean, if Gabriel's willing to put moves on somebody he didn't even want to seduce, I mean, think about somebody who he might want to. Probably goes insane.
Hey, I was putting those moves because I needed to.
He was just wanting to experiment. you
Well,
know?
right now you need to find a way to pass the time while you're waiting.
Come on. Don't you have some arrows in that quiver?
Oh god.
No. No. Why did I say that? What have I done?
He's gonna
Yikes.
just shoot one arrow out of the quiver though, even though he could shoot two, just to
Yeah.
make
Like
a
an
point.
average archer, you know?
Yeah.
I guess I will look around the room a little more, try and read more files.
Okay. As you are digging through so did you hear about what was on the more shuffled around files on the table?
Arresting files, and
Yeah.
that's all I got.
So as you dig through most everything else, you can tell that older files seem to not have the same punishment option of drain. It was really just like humiliation, prison, what was it? Torture and execution were kind of the four options there. So drain certainly seems to be only on what appears to be the more recent files, but the actual, as you're kind of going through, you find some with dates from as far back as a year or two ago, and it seems like the structure and the way that things are being done, at least in the criminal sense, are largely the same now as they were before. And an interesting thing is you even notice some of the same signatures from penance officers, from both what you can easily tell was before the change to Zelkir and after.
Hey, Hestia, look at this.
I'm looking.
Isn't that interesting? It's been at least a couple years.
Well, the change to, having draining as being a punishment, and everything with, the undead. That's all within the last few months, the last 6 months or so, and that's something that tracks with the paperwork that you're seeing. But you notice that there are signatures in common both before and after the change.
Do I recognize any of the names from those signatures?
Go ahead and give me a knowledge nobility check.
Okay. I do not have knowledge nobility.
Okay, then never mind. Do not give me a knowledge nobility check. The DC was probably somewhere in the 18 to 20 range.
Well, Hestia, do you recognize any of the names from these signatures?
Not really.
Okay, what are the names? I'm gonna write them down in my notebook so I can keep.
Yeah, give me
notes.
just a moment.
Brace the signatures in case we need those signatures in the future.
Actually, yeah,
That's a good
I'm
idea.
gonna be doing that. I'm gonna be taking notes, but I'm also gonna trace signature.
Do you have any ranks in linguistics?
Yes, I do.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make a linguistics check.
Okay, let's see. 9.
You try your hand at forging the signature just like in practice, and you do a very poor job of it.
He's tracing
Can
it,
I
though.
take can I take a 10?
You can take a 10 to take a trace, but as
Yeah,
far as like being able to replicate it with the with the style of writing, with the sweeps of the hand, and kind of the being able to replicate the letters without tracing, that's beyond you. But you can take a tracing of it.
Okay, yeah. As soon as I realized, like, you know what, I'm messing this up, I'm just going to trace it.
Yep.
And I'm gonna take it slow.
Because just as an example, one of the things that you might do if you were trying to figure out how to write the signature is you'd kind of like practice it a couple times, see if you can kind of get the same flow and make it look more convincing. Because if you're just tracing it, you're still going to be doing the letters, from different angles, or kind of have different slight shapes to the way that you're doing it, that to a trained eye would be able to see through the signature. With the trace, you can at least get, most of the stuff there, but it's not something you could replicate without tracing it again.
Okay, then I will also try and find the most unimportant, mundane record or sheet of paper with the signatures that I need and start taking them so that we have an original copy.
Okay, yeah. You're able to grab one both from before and after. Now the name, and I'm going to have to write this down as well. Give me a moment. Oops. So the name is Tarth Heavy Moon.
Okay.
And the title given beneath it on anywhere that he has this signature is the Magistrate of Melkar.
Okay.
And the other names that you notice are Rudy is another common one. And then let's see. And then the last one is Tanel. Tanyl.
Okay.
Tanel Noxina. And I'll paste those in here. So you have
Do they have titles?
Tanel and Rudy both have the title Judge. And then Tarth Heavy Moon was the other one.
Hello.
Okay. Right, so those are the names that you get on there. And you do also find a notebook.
Okay. What do I
What's the
find in
notebook?
this notebook?
The notebook appears to be whoever's office this is, primarily. This seems to be a journal of sorts, kind of detailing interesting events that have happened. And again, you notice that this appears, as you look at this closer, this actually appears to be the property of Tarth Heavymoon. And, as you're kind of looking around the office itself, like, you didn't notice it before, but a lot of the things under the paperwork do have kind of a weight of value to them. Like the desk is solid wood, there's a little bit of silver inlay to it, and there's some interesting collections around the room that were originally kind of obscured by the amount of paperwork. This is certainly a nice office, though it isn't the most spacious. And the journal itself does also date back, so it's not particularly commonly written in, but there's a few notable pieces of information. However, I want to prepare those properly, so I will tell them to you next time.
Okay, I'm good with that.
But let me make a note so that I can do that. Okay. All right. Any other questions from Gabriel or Hestia about the office?
Hestia? I don't know if she's around, but have we detected magic in this office?
You have not, to my knowledge.
Then I will 100% definitely do that.
The door has a magical aura around the lock. It appears to be magically sealed in some way, in addition to a mundane lock. Let's see. There's also... Oh no. How much stone is it that blocks detect magic? I forget off the top of my head. I want to say 1 foot of stone. Yep, 1 foot of stone blocks it. Gabriel, you are a little bit more familiar with historical stuff than I am. In a typical building of stone structure of the medieval era, how thick would walls be if they were stone? Do you know off the top of your head?
There were stone. Also, kind of depends on the area. This place is similar to northern Arizona, northern Utah,
Yeah,
right?
it's a desert.
It's a desert.
Yeah.
Four-season desert.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, about 1.5 to 2 feet.
Okay. Yeah. So you won't detect anything outside of this room, but you will detect that the door's locked, and there's a couple places where there are some magical auras. There appears to be a couple special items in here. In fact, hold on.
Okay.
Give me just a moment. I need to check something. I was trying to remember where I have that note at. Okay. There's a ring. There is... Let's see. There's a ring, there's a key, and there is a... No, I'm going to say there's a quill. That is, so all three of these are magical.
There's a ring, a quill, and what else?
A ring, a key, and a quill.
Okay. Can I try and study those closer to see what they are in the order of the ring, the quill, and then the key?
I will get back to you on those, all three, next time. But go
Okay.
ahead and for now give me spellcraft check, and then I will let you know what they are next time.
So for the ring, it's 16. For the quill,
Just give
it's a
me...
13.
Okay. Just give me one. One is sufficient. The
Okay,
16.
Yes. Ah, crap! I threw the last one just outside of the box, and it was a nat 20. Oh man. Yeah, I'll go with a 16. Obviously, yeah.
Okay. Let me
I
write
should
that
I
down
should
as
have
well.
re-rolled. Yeah.
So a quill, a ring, and a key.
You can just
All-
double click the skill, by the way, Enrique, and it just automatically will roll it in the box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, sometimes I like to carry the dice over because it kind of makes me think that we're playing in person and I have physical dice.
No, I get you. It's authentic.
Yeah. You know, I bought a new set of dice for this campaign and I'm not using them. So, although I do tend to do that. I buy a set of dice for every new campaign that I'm in. Actually, last weekend I saw a set of $120 dice. They were metallic hollow dice that had mini sculptures of dragons on the inside.
Could you
They're
see
really,
them? Could you see the dragons easily?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
And when you roll them, they make clanking sounds because they're hollow metallic dice. They're
Wow.
really, really cool. I didn't have my phone on me, so I didn't take any pictures. But they were really cool dice. And if I had an extra $120 that I could just bear to buy a fancy toy, I
Mhm.
would have bought those dice.
I have metal dice, and I absolutely think that's the way to go. I love metal dice.
Alrighty.
Oh yeah, I was muted. My metal dice, they suffer the same problem as plastic dice, but in general, if you don't get like a cheap pair of metal dice, yeah, they're way more balanced and they're cool and they're heavy and they clank and they're awesome.
They sound like weapons.
Oh, dude, my D20, if you threw that hard enough, you could absolutely kill somebody with that. With that in like a slingshot, and that is a lethal bullet right there.
Dude, back in Christmas, I bought a D100 from GameStore that is just one solid ball, like a brass ball, iron ball.
Hey, I'm going to close
that-
out Fantasy Grounds, by the way, if you guys want to.
All right.
Are you guys
Yeah,
good if
so-
I stop the stream here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks,
Cool.
guys.
Thank you to any of our viewers. You are appreciated.
Thank you.